How do you joke and tease without making fun of someone? Joking and teasing is such a useful thing. It can help you reduce tension when you're in an argument. It can help you bond and connect with your friends, with your family, co-workers, with your fellow leaders in MSA. It's one of the amazing human factor. Prophet ﷺ, in fact, used to love humor. He used to enjoy humor. The famous hadith where someone came to Prophet ﷺ and Prophet ﷺ, and asked for a camel, and he said, "I will give you the baby of a she camel." Right? And the man said, "I don't need a baby. How am I going to ride a baby?" He said, "No, all camels are, the baby of a she camel." He used to enjoy the jokes of the Sahaba. There's a famous character, An-Nu'man ibn Amr. An-Nu'man was a character. One time a companion brought a camel to the masjid, and they went inside to meet the Prophet ﷺ, and An-Nu'man was there. The other companion said, "An-Nu'man, let's slaughter this camel. Why don't you slaughter this camel, because we all want to eat, and Prophet ﷺ will pay for it." So Nu'man, he slaughtered the camel, and when the man came out, he said, "Who slaughtered my camel?" And they all pointed at Nu'man, and Nu'man he ran away and he hid. And so the Prophet ﷺ went and found him in a ditch, covered in leaves. And the Prophet asked, "Where's Al-Nu'man?" And one man pointed at the ditch and said, "I don't know." And the Prophet, when he found Al-Nu'man, he asked him, "Who told you to slaughter the camel?" He said, "The same people that gave away where I was hiding, the same people." And Prophet he understood that joke, and it was something of levity, and he paid for the camel. And this was the Prophet he joked and teased with his family members. He raced with his wife Aisha anha, and after he beat her in the race, the first time he lost, second time he beat her, and he said, "This is for the first time that you beat me." And Prophet used to enjoy this laughter and brevity. Some people are always so serious. Learn to take life easy, especially when you're in a conversation, you're listening and speaking as a good communicator. Learn to relax. Learn to enjoy laughter. If you have a hard time with laughter, go listen to stand-up comedy. Read jokes online. I don't know, do something and get your sense of humor going. Sing in the shower, dance around, whatever it takes. Get yourself loosened up. If you feel you're always in serious, and uptight, it could be an effective leader, you could be an effective parent, you could be an effective person, and you could still have levity, and you could have laughter, you could have jokes. Now, one thing to remember here, that when you do laugh and joke, when you joke and tease, how do you make sure that you offend someone? For example, joking is very useful even when you're in an argument. I remember at a masjid, the board members, were in a big argument, right? And they're going back and forth, and there was an older uncle. He was in the meeting, and all of a sudden in the middle of the argument, he just got up. He's like, "Brothers, I am missing my 10 o'clock news because of this." And everybody just started laughing. He could have said, "Brothers, have ittaqullah, this argument, the message is no good." That would have been one way to calm everyone down. But he made everyone laugh, everyone calm down, everybody sat down, and they were able to deal with it. Sometimes your little son or daughter comes and learns a curse word from school. Right? And they come and calls you, maybe your son just comes from kindergarten and pre-K and calls you poopy head, whatever it calls you. You have the option. You could say, "Who taught you that? Why are you using the curse word? Why you?" That's one way to do it. Or you could be like, "Shh, that's my nickname. Don't say things like that so loud." And it's not to minimize the problem. It's to get everything calmed down, be in a good state, you yourself, another person, then be able to deal with the problem. Especially in an argument, learn to joke and tease. It's not to minimize, it's not to ignore, but it's to put everyone in a good state so they can have it. Because when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're hurt, you're not in a good state. Your amygdala is in full function. You're not properly thinking. The other person is tense. It's not going anywhere. Learn to joke, and when you joke, learn to use more self-deprecating humor. It's much better and much more safer. Joke about yourself. Just joke about your own faults, and then deal with it. But as you're joking and teasing, remembering how to not offend someone, how to not put people down when you're joking and teasing. As Prophet ﷺ, the companions were in traveling together, and this man he left his belongings, and one of the companions took one of his rope, and he woke up and he couldn't find his rope, and he got frightened. And Prophet ﷺ told him, the companions, don't do that. Lying when you're joking, and Prophet ﷺ gave a severe warning in the hadith, in the advice to us. And so as much as Prophet approved of joking and teasing, also pranks that are very mean. Oftentimes young people especially, they do all sorts of pranks. A prank is like the way they get along with each other. But pranks never ever build a good relationship, ever. If someone doesn't feel safe from you, whether it be at a Muslim camp or whether it be at a masjid sleepover, and some people don't feel safe around you, it's never, it's great fun, but the person inside always feels hurt. Talk to anybody who got pranked, they say, no, I take it, I'm no problem, because I pranked back. But deep down, it still hurts. And you look at dynamic, there's all the things. Prophet loved joke and teasing, loved to have fun. At the same time, he kept in mind that you don't offend someone, hurt someone's feeling. So here's something to keep in mind. Number one, words hurt. So joking about someone's death, joking about someone's sensitivity, joking about someone's mistake that they're ashamed of, is never a good thing. Understand people's vulnerability. This person, maybe their height, maybe their weight, maybe their age, maybe their education failures. That's not something you joke about. Be aware of that. And number two, when you joke, always try to make the other person more higher by the joke. See how you can make that joke and make that sarcastic remark, make that sarcasm, but make everyone laugh, but make the other person dignified. It's kind of like if you are given the job at your friend's wedding to be the best man. When you make jokes about your friend as the best man, make jokes that puts the groom down. That would be a bad best man speech. A good best man speech is that the jokes you make, stories and funny, and sometimes some are embarrassing, some are silly, but it uplifts the groom, right? And that's part of the job that some of you may have had. Same way when you joke and tease, always try to get someone lifted, not put someone down. And when you're joking, keep in mind, are you joking because you're angry and you're trying to get back at them by the side comment? Then that's not a good place to be joking and teasing, because you're not doing it to bring positive energy in the room or positive energy in that phone conversation. You're doing it just to cut someone, just to put someone down. And so when you keep these in mind, you can learn to joke and tease without hurting someone's feeling. Learn to joke and tease who can build the relationship, can listen and communicate and speak better, and not make fun of someone, hurt their feeling, and ruin the conversation. So I hope, inshallah, we can joke and tease at the same time respect other people. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.